Hi, Democrats. Today is Monday, March 4th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Monday. So it is Monday, March 4th, which means it is one day ahead of Super Tuesday. Tomorrow is Super Tuesday. So tomorrow's the time where we pick who our presidential candidate is going to be. In Oklahoma, there are 6 candidates on the ballot, even though one of them has dropped out. But when you get your ballot, there will be 6 candidates on the ballot. So this is your chance to have your say. Now, this is what I talk about all the time. I go all over the place telling people that Super Tuesday is coming. I believe vote not, want not. You don't vote. You're telling us that you don't want to have a say. This is your opportunity to have a say. Tomorrow is Super Tuesday all over the state. If you haven't already voted by absentee ballot or early in person, tomorrow is your time between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at your polling place. Not at your county election board, but at your polling place. If you are unsure where your polling place is and you don't know where your little paper card is, you can go out to the Oklahoma State Election Board voter portal. You put in your name and your birthday, and it will tell you where you're supposed to vote. You absolutely have to vote tomorrow. Now, in some communities, you also have, what do you call them, bond issues and issues directly related to your community. So you have a couple of things to vote for, but everyone who is a registered voter in Oklahoma has something to vote for tomorrow. Now, when we logged on, I had a quote up from Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, who once upon a time ran to be the chair of the DNC. And he said, not voting is not a protest, it's a surrender. I believe that with everything in me. You have to vote in order to get your word in. Staying home, because Oklahoma has such poor turnout, it sends no message. Staying home doesn't send the message if you think that it sends. Voting sends the message. So I've been traveling all over the place. I've been talking to people in my personal circles and Democrat circles and listening to people talk about they're not real sure what they're going to do and they don't know. And why didn't America give us a better choice? Whew, that ship has sailed so long ago. These are our choices. That's how democracy works. If you wanted someone else to get in the top 12, because I think there are 6 on the Republican side as well. If you wanted someone else, you needed to be working for that person before right now. These folks had to get on our ballot by December. So since the first week of December, we knew who was on the ballot. If you have a problem with who is on the ballot for the Democratic presidency, right now is the time to start working for the election in 2028. Don't wait until the election year and be mad about who shows up. Now is the time to organize behind whoever you think should be on the ballot for us in 2028. But right now, we have the candidates that we have. So I loathe talking about folks who I think don't deserve to be in our sphere, right? I don't like talking about it, but it's part of my job to provide information. So I want to show you who the number one front runner is on the Republican side.
In Venezuela, did you just see Maduro? Venezuela, it's unbelievable. We're getting rid of the Romneys of the world. We want to get Romneys and those out. But they know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones. This is the greatest movement in the history of our country, maybe in the history of any country. Even Argentina, they went MAGA. You know Argentina, great guy. He's a big Trump guy. He loves Trump. I love him because he loves Trump. When he called, I took his call. Anybody that loves me, I like them. I said, Abdul, he's still there. He's the head of the Taliban. He said, you're killing our soldiers. Don't do it anymore because terror will rain down on you. And he called you, yes, Your Highness. He called me Your Highness, which is interesting. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your... has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around the nuclear word today. You heard that, nuclear. He's starting to talk nuclear weapons today. I was waiting for that to happen, but we have a fool as a president. He said, we will never leave until there is complete and total victory. We might be there for a long time.
That's who the Republicans are putting up as their ultimate front runner. They had a whole host of folks, just like they did back in 2016. They had 2016, and the last time they had a whole host of folks, and this is what we have now. And so for the folks who think, I'm not going to vote this time, or I think that Joe Biden has had too many birthdays, that's what you're leaving us to. So I am really asking, I'm really asking for you to get your mind around voting. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. You saw who's on the Republican side. Now, let's see who is assisting Joe Biden on the Democrat side.
And given the immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire. For at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table. Hamas claims it wants a ceasefire. Well, there is a deal on the table. And as we have said, Hamas needs to agree to that deal. Let's get a ceasefire. Let's reunite the hostages with their families. And let's provide immediate relief to the people of Gaza.
It doesn't seem like a contest to me. It may to you, but tomorrow is the day. Between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., you need to show up and cast your vote. Earlier, and that's all I'm going to say. I have a lot more to say, but we'll wait until after the results of tomorrow. But I do want to say that I do this every day because I believe in access to the ballot box. I believe that everyone should have access to the ballot box, be educated when they get there, and know that their vote's going to count. In Oklahoma, currently, we have access to the ballot box. You can vote at absentee without excuses. As long as you know where you're supposed to vote, in most instances, you won't be turned away. You can vote early in person. Now, we have the shortest early in-person window in the nation, but we do have an early in-person window. So we have access to the ballot box. We could expand that, but we have access to the ballot box. Now, with regards to being educated when they get there, I'm doing my part, but I'm asking anybody who happens across this video to make sure that you do your part and make sure that everyone that you come in contact with understands that tomorrow is Super Tuesday. And then knowing that your vote's going to count. We have one of the most secure election processes in the nation. So your vote will count if you cast it. We don't have write-in. You turn in a blank one, it's not going to count. But if you cast your vote, it will count. So I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, but I don't want to confuse you. I want to make sure that you understand that today's message is about showing up to vote. Now, you can get together with your county. I live in Tulsa. Tulsa County is having a watch party. Get to what I've seen a couple others. I'm partial to my town, but I've seen a couple of other watch parties. Go to your county party Facebook page, and if they're having a watch party, that might be a place for you to join. But here's the thing. The other side has told us that the Constitution only means something for the parts that they like. What we have to focus on is the entire Constitution and taking care of the entire United States, not just the favored ones. So please, show up and vote tomorrow. Cast your vote. That is tomorrow from 7 to 7. Okay, I think I've said that enough. Y'all heard me. Go vote. I want to remind everybody that this Saturday in Norman, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison will be here to talk about what it's like to be an attorney and to run for elected office. That's this Saturday in Norman. Go out to our website. There's going to be a panel. It's low entry. It's $15 to get in. Come be with other Democrats. help me talk some people into running for office, and listen to the Minnesota Attorney General, Keith Ellison. He's a great speaker, just wrote another book. There'll be a lot of interesting things to hear from. And again, I'm going to leave you guys with vote. Vote, vote, vote. It is important. We have got to protect our Constitution. We have got to make sure that what happens in the next 4 years is about democracy, and make sure in the next 4 years we continue to grow our democracy rather than shrink it. You guys have a great one, and I'll be back tomorrow.